Good evening and welcome to the April 12th meeting of the Beavercreek Parks Recreation and Culture Board. Hereby call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with a roll call, please, Jackie.
Mr. Corbett.
Here.
Mrs. Fulcher.
Here.
Mrs. Begari. Mrs. Fulcher. Mrs. Heaton.
Here.
And Candy is not with us this evening.
Great, thank you. Tonight is our annual election of officers, so I will turn the program over to Zach to provide leadership for that piece of the program.
Great. Good evening. We're here to ask for nominations for Park Board Chair for this upcoming year.
I would like to make a nomination that Eric continue as our chair.
I'll accept the nomination.
Do we have any other nominations for Park Board Chair? Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Congratulations, Eric.
Thank you. That would have been really sad to not get any votes after that, wouldn't it? With nobody running against me. Okay, so thank you, Zach. I'll take over and I will accept nominations for vice chair.
I would like to nominate Christina as vice chair.
Christina, will you accept?
I will accept.
Any other nominations? All right, we're voting for Christina as vice chair. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So congratulations, Christina.
Thank you very much.
You'll be vice chair for the next year. All right, now you have in front of you the agenda for tonight's meeting, and after you had a chance to look at it, I'll accept a nomination changes or a nomination to approve the agenda.
A motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye. Aye. Okay. And then you also have in front of you the minutes from our March 8th meeting. And once again, once you've had a chance to look at that, if you have any changes, we'll hear those, or if you have a motion to approve the minutes. I'm looking for one.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of the minutes, say aye. Aye. All right, thank you. And Jackie, thank you for putting those together. All right, next item on our agenda is staff reports. Looks like we got Kim here for the staff report.
Good evening. You do have Kim here for the staff report. As we've mentioned over the past couple months at our board meetings, we would like to provide for you a different report, different things that we've been working on. We've done master plan. Tonight we're going to be talking about our strategic plan, but just kind of give you guys a little bit more insight of, if you want to say, behind the scenes and why we make some of the choices that we do. So this month is our strategic plan. I will apologize now because I don't like this setup. We did the strategic plan back in 2020. Sorry, all the years are running together for me. We did have an intern that helped us out with this. So what she did, she started out with a SWOT analysis with two different groups, an internal group, which is our interviews with all our staff, both maintenance and administrative, and then external, which she took from our master plan. So part of the master plan, there was a little bit of strategic plan in there, but she was able to kind of gather some insight from the surveys, from the public forums, different things that we did there. So if you're not, so SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So some of the strengths that we had come up with, and these are just some of the highlights, is teamwork, community engagement, neighborhood parks. We have a lot of unique playgrounds, our customer service, and then of course our volunteers in the transportation service at the senior center. Some of our weaknesses are staffing levels, lack of marketing and universal message, senior center programming or the hours for the younger senior population, our work order response time, and park maintenance details. Some of our opportunities, alternate funding sources, such as sponsorships, increase our ADA accessibility, leverage technology, expand memorial and veteran programs, and then increase networking to avoid service overlap. And then some of our threats, funding and community support, private sector competition, and that is, if I pick on yoga, we run a yoga program, but then there's a lot of yoga places opening up. At the time, Zumba was another big one as well. Decreasing senior center volunteers, grant funding is not always guaranteed, and then other local community services. So again, these were a lot of the things that we talked through 2 years ago, and some of them still hold true today. So after working through the SWOT analysis, we developed, when I say we, our staff, and then this Jackie, who was our intern at the time, to put this together, came up with different goals. We kind of had an overarching goal. So goal 1, diversify funding. And then under that goal, we had objectives. So again, for diversify funding, our objectives is to work on our sponsorship program, grants, our volunteer program, and vocational and university programs. And it may be a little later in the presentation, but then when we had all these, then we also assigned these out to staff. So the different ways we're going to work on some of these. Goal 2, implement a marketing program. Our objectives is a marketing guide, marketing templates, and then a marketing timeline. Improve service delivery, so determine our program gaps, cost recovery plan, networking, ADA accessibility, and then leverage technology. Goal 4 is employee development and training, so create a training schedule, implement performance feedback, weekly division updates, employee recognition. Those were our goals. I apologize, I should have had, what I can do is, let me go back a few and just update you on some of these as well. So as we look at our sponsorship program, that is something that we do every single year. We try to get that out in like November. But that is to help pay for a lot of our events. Right now we're really pushing out for the 4th of July. So our goal is to, not only for 4th of July, but for any of our events, to have it completely paid for by sponsorship dollars. So every year we take a look at that packet, where our sponsorship levels are, and make sure that do the levels truly cover the cost of the program. So whether it's a movie screen, a bounce house, fireworks, whatever that is. And last year we did a really good job. I think we were like 90% of events covered truly by sponsorship dollars. Grants is another thing that we keep looking into. The biggest that we got this past year, 2 years, is through ODNR to purchase the property up on Patterson, Grange Hall, that area. So we'll be getting 148 acres, and half of that is paid through grants. Our volunteer program, again, it seems odd that it's in diversifying funding, but if we can have volunteers, then we're not paying for staff members. And we are still, that's always a struggle we're finding within volunteers. We're not getting the volunteers that we've had in the past. So we still work on that. And then the vocational and university programs is trying to work with the area colleges, universities, and the vocational, especially in our garage. We've gotten some Greene County Career Center. We've got some kids that come out, then what they want to do is be a mechanic and work on small engines so they can come work for us. They're paid through from the school, so not city dollars, and they're getting real life experiences working on our mowers and sharpening blades and doing stuff like that. So, and the same thing, I believe we had some in the landscaping division as well. As they want to work with flowers, they want to work landscaping, turf. So we're able to give them real life experience plus a summer job. So, and then the same thing, like working with area colleges, like we're hiring for summer camp counselors and camp director. Do you want to work in education? Here's a perfect opportunity to be out there and get experience working with kids, and you can determine really quick whether this is absolutely the field I want to be in, or yeah, I don't think so, I need to go in a different direction. So we're happy to be able to provide that, and it's just working with the university, like athletic directors, career services, and just getting the right people in place. Implement a marketing program. We do have our marketing guide. We have a timeline. But in the course of putting this together, our strategic plan, and today we now have a communications manager. So we work with Katie to help us with the marketing templates and putting marketing pieces out. So I think some of that stuff was assigned to like our staff, but now we've delegated it out to Katie. And thank you, Katie. Improve service delivery, so determine program gaps. The determining program gaps in our cost recovery plan kind of went hand in hand a little bit. Erin, through our accreditation process, had to pretty much create a recreation plan, and that called out some of the program gaps. So she's still working through all that and just kind of see where we're lapsing. Is there other things that we need to be working on? Different age groups, different programming. We do a lot of fitness. Is there something else that we need to be doing? So she's continually working through that. We do have our cost recovery plan completed. We have our ADA accessibility plan completed, but now we're just working through that plan. It's like 10 or 11 year plan. And then networking is also in there. And again, I think we started working through that and coming up with a plan, but then COVID kind of shut us down on that one. So these are things that we'll just kind of keep working through. And then our employee development and training is to create a training schedule. We had a phenomenal training matrix for our maintenance staff, so they could kind of move through from operator 1 all the way to operator 3 with years of service and taking different training, obtaining different licenses. So that's been in place since 18. And so what we're starting now is on the administrative side. So like for Zach, for myself, for Aaron, senior center staff, coming up with different training programs and then kind of a 5-year plan to get them trained. There won't necessarily be the moving through like the different levels. It just makes us better employees, better people, and be able to serve the community. The weekly division updates, Zach has been doing that every single week, and I think those have been great. Our maintenance staff never sees the senior center maybe 4 times a year. Vice versa, we don't always be able to get a chance to see everybody. So putting all of that information out there that everybody on our staff gets to read, they know what's going on at the senior center. Our senior center's like, oh, they got this park project. It just gives everybody a little better idea to communicate. So if somebody at the senior center asks Tyler, like, hey, are they putting a playground in? He'd be like, yes, I just read about that the other day. So it's just helping our staff be better informed of what's going on. And the same thing for implement performance feedback. We're working through that. We haven't gotten to that step yet. And employee recognition is, again, just internally being able to recognize our employees and all the great stuff that they're doing. So that's kind of like the overview of our strategic plan. It is a 5-year plan that we'll continue to kind of work through. As we get through, like each year, we just then add another year. So it's always revolving 5 years. And then at some point, we will have to update it, redo it, and look towards the next few. So, but I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has. All right, great. If you don't have questions, it's okay. Yes.
This on. So if we had, I'm just wondering in your heads, because you have so much expertise in recreation, like if we had unlimited resources here in Beavercreek, what would be on your top of your wish list, and for both of you, that you wish we could do to improve services, but it's crazy, kind of too expensive?
Wow, that's a great question. I think right now, looking at the master plan, we have a bunch of different projects. I think if I had unlimited resources, like, I had just have one bucket of money, I think what I would like to do is go to the master plan and take a look at like, hey, here are a bunch of updates that we really need to get done. That's what we've been working through, but just a year. And there's also a lot of things that it's not as fun a lot of the roofs at Warrior Park, those cabins, they need to be replaced. We have a lot of asphalt that needs to be, updated. Those aren't as, it's like, oh, we're gonna put in a playground, or, we're gonna do some pickleball courts. So I think I would like to, for a couple years, just throw all the money into updating. And then, of course, we've got a 148-acre park coming. So once we have that master plan, I would love to, because that's gonna be an amazing community park. And we'll be able to put quite frankly, all the wish lists in that park over the next 10, 15 years. Yeah, Zach, I don't know if you had.
Yeah, I can pretty much echo what Kim said. I think the theme we've had, excuse me, for the last several years is taking care of what we have. Certainly, we do an amazing job, but funding resources at times can be tough. So to take care of those, the infrastructure, the asphalt, the playgrounds, the facilities, adding extra staff on if possible, just to, we have 5 full-time parks maintenance staff members that maintain our 23 parks, and they're stretched thin, especially this time of year. So to be able to provide extra staff to them just to maintain what we have would be great. And then also go along with the new parkland to listen to the residents, go back to our master plan that we've done, plus the one that's going to be done for the new land, and have a space to put all of the residents' desires in that new parkland. I think that was one of the challenges we had with the last master plan is, the community wants a splash pad and a dog park and all these other amenities, and we didn't have a park that could really withhold that. And so to have that space now, to be able to listen to the community and have a space to be able to put some of those things would be really cool. So I'm excited to see all of this progress over the next couple of years.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. Yeah, everybody likes to cling to the exciting things. Nobody gets excited about deferred maintenance.
No, it was like, ooh, we're doing some HVAC units at the senior center, woo!
But if you don't, you're going to be in big trouble later,
Absolutely.
right? Thank you for that presentation. And then when you're ready, Zach, we'll be happy to hear the division report.
Okay. Thank you, Kim. And it is, as I was reviewing the presentation before tonight, and this strategic plan is not even 2 years old yet, and you look back and you're like, holy smokes, we haven't just been spinning our wheels. We've accomplished a lot already in just these, not even quite 2 years yet. So it's really good to reflect back on everything that our division has done and see where we're going, but also that provides, goals for us moving forward. So tonight in the division report, start off with some updates. Coming up this Thursday at the Senior Center from noon to 1:30 is the Easter Luncheon. I think it's already sold out, but they have another great event, and Tyler will be the bunny this year. No, I don't know, but no, I have no idea. But it's another great event. This event, I believe, sells out every single year. Coming up this Thursday. And coming up next month for Mother's Day is Mothering Tea, which is Friday, May 6th from 1 to 3. And the Senior Center will host mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, a bunch of delicious foods. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping put on this event. I know myself and Mike Thonero and several other staff members will be servers for this event, so be my first experience serving, so hopefully I don't drop anything. But should be another fun event. I've helped out with a few others at the Senior Center, and it's always a blast. Also, some upcoming trips, the Traditions Tour and Lunch coming up on April 27th at 11:30. Touring Traditions, getting a lunch and a tour of their patio homes. 4 Paws for Ability just built a new center in Xenia, I believe within the past year or so. They provide service dogs to children worldwide, and their headquarters are here locally in Xenia. They do a lot of training out at Rotary Park for all of their service dogs, and this will be a tour of their facilities. And then also a trip down to the Snooty Fox on Friday, April 29th, where Senior Center members will go down there, and it's a bunch of consignment shops that they'll be able to do some great shopping and enjoy some time out. And then coming up here in a couple weekends on Saturday, April 23rd, is the Soar into Spring event at Dominic Lafino Park. That'll be from 11 to 1. Some great vendors will be out there to share some great recreational opportunities for the summer. Everyone attending will be able to get a kite. Hopefully we have some great weather, lots of food, and a lot of fun. So if you're available, please come on out on April 23rd. Also coming up, April 28th is the Family Glow Night at CI Beaver Hall, where families will build a ride, Glow Mountain, and make glow-in-the-dark slime. Sounds like a nice, messy project. And then we also have Lego Robot X Games, also at CI Beaver Hall on April 27th, where you build, design, and build and code a Lego robot that can handle any challenge thrown at it during its ultimate showdown, which sounds like a blast. So if you're interested in those, please visit our website and register. And moving on to parks maintenance, our staff has been busy this week opening up all of the restrooms. All of the restrooms are now open in the parks with the exception of Dominic Lafino Park. We hope to have that one open up by the end of this week. And then the water fountains will open up most likely sometime next week. We still have some rather cold temperatures coming this weekend, so those are the most vulnerable to freeze. So we're waiting till we get some consistently warm temperatures to open up the water fountains. And starting last week, mowing operations have begun, so you'll see our staff out there mowing all of the parks. Please keep in mind we have 5 full-time park staff members and 2 part-time park staff members and only 1 seasonal to date. So we have a very small staff, but they are working hard mowing in between the rains that we've been having lately. So please be patient with us this spring. We've also installed several new celebration trees and memorial benches within parks this spring, and also another free little library at Stafford Park. So if you are interested in any celebration trees or benches, please reach out to our office, fill out an application, or just for more information, and we can get you some information on celebration trees and benches. And then the Royal Point neighborhood has until April 15th to vote on their new playground. So there's 2 options they're voting on. Wants to make their selection, we will get the playground ordered. The 2 playground designs came from feedback from last year's family recess event, where they gave us input on things they wanted within the parks: spinning, playground pieces, zip lines, swings, slides. So we took all of their input, worked with playground manufacturer, and came up with a couple different designs and let the neighborhood vote.
Exactly, remind me on that one. Are we replacing anything or just adding to it?
We are replacing the whole playground. The swing structure is staying,
Okay.
but the rest of the playground will be replaced. And I believe also the shade
Yeah,
structure
I
is
knew
staying.
they weren't very old.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then also just an update on the research parkland. We received notification that we will be awarded another grant in the amount of $235,000 to purchase the remaining 47.65 acres of land. So if you recall, the first 100 acres was on the south portion of that property at Grange Hall and Shakertown. This grant will be able to purchase the northern 47 acres up to Patterson Road. So with the exception of the one eastern spot where the residential home is, that entire parcel of land will be parkland. So we're really excited to move forward with all of this, get community input, complete a master plan, and then start working on the next phase of that park.
So are you talking about like the part that goes in?
Yes,
So that's somebody's home right there
correct. There's one residential home there.
with no interest to sell, or,
I don't believe we've had a discussion with them on that.
and then would that be fenced away from the rest of the park?
The way it sits on the north end of their parcel is like a drainage ditch, and then it's a fairly wooded lot. So I'm sure as we start working through the master plan and designing things, we'll be designing to be good neighbors to those folks. Certainly don't want to put a splash pad right behind their property. We want to provide some privacy and everything there as well. So as we start working through the design phase, which we'll get lots of input this summer. We'll work around that and again, work to be good neighbors for that one family that lives there. And then finally, we are hiring. So as I said, if anyone is interested in seasonal jobs, we're still hiring for camp counselors, camp directors, and parks maintenance staff. We've tried reaching out to many different athletic organizations, colleges, high schools. We have signs out on our parks. It's just tough. We're just not getting people to apply for a lot of these positions. The camp counselor positions, we're doing okay. We could always use more. Parks maintenance is very tough. So certainly, if you know anyone that's interested in seasonal employment, please send them our way. Have them call our office or go to beavercreekohio.gov and seek out the employment page, fill out an application for one of many jobs that we do have open. So we certainly cannot maintain all of our parks just with our full-time staff. We do rely on seasonals to supplement us throughout the year, And unfortunately, we've had to go to using contractors to help out with some of the mowing, not only in parks, but within our street division with primarily just mowing and some landscape work. And it has to get the work done somehow, whether it's contractors or seasonal help. But we'd certainly love to have some more seasonal staff on hand. So if you know anyone, please send them our way.
Are those seasonal jobs full-time, part-time, combination?
Yeah, those jobs, at least for the parks maintenance, they are Monday through Friday from 7 to 3:30. We can guarantee 40 hours a week through the year. The camp directors, they'll have their set schedule as well for during camp. But they're great. They're great hours. There's no weekends. It's a fun environment to work in. You're outside. Even in camp staff, they have a ball. They have a great time out there working with all the kids.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd be happy to answer any questions if you all have any.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks.
All right. Next item on our agenda is old business. April is volunteer month, and last Monday, was it last Monday? I guess it was. Yeah. Sharon and I accepted proclamation from City Council proclaiming April Volunteer Month, and we appreciate that. And since it is Volunteer Month, we are recognizing our volunteers here in Beavercreek, our program, annual program. We can call it annual program, even though we've missed it due to COVID. But this Thursday, the doors opening at 6:30, program starting 7:15 at the Beavercreek Golf Club. So we're looking forward to doing that. Yep. Anything else you guys want to say about that?
Just come.
So if you've been invited, show up. No, it's we don't have enough opportunities to really thank the volunteers that, much like some of the things that Zach was saying with the staff size we have, can't do everything we need to do. So volunteers are crucial, and actually Kim shared some of that during her presentation as well. So we're going to take a few minutes to honor them and appreciate them on Thursday. New business, usually in this category is when staff shares with us some upcoming opportunities for volunteering. I'm sure the spring kite event's going to be on that list. What else you got?
The spring kite event,
I can't remember what it was called.
Soar into Spring.
Right.
Yes, so if anybody wants to come out and help with the registration table and just give information on some of the programs that we have coming up. Zach alluded to, we do have a great group like the library, Lions Club is going to be out there, the Optimists are going to be giving out kites, but it's a great opportunity to scout, enjoy the park, and then see what we have going on. So it's always it's nice to have volunteers. And the senior center is always looking for volunteers, drivers, escorts. I think those are the main ones. Getting a new van here very, very soon, so you could sign up, be a volunteer, and be one of the first to drive that brand new van.
Is it a replacement van or an additional van?
Replacement van, yes. There's one that, it's been our backup, but it's time to,
You put a lot of miles on those.
yeah, just like in Beavercreek, but we put a lot of miles on those, so you can't beat that new car smell. But I think those are the biggies that are kind of coming up over the next month.
Any other new business for the board at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to my favorite part of the evening, unscheduled visitors. Seeing none, we'll move on. Sorry. Action items. I think we all know what we have left to do in the next couple days before the program on Thursday. And then other than that, it's signing up for those volunteer slots that Kim just shared with us. Which leads us to board time. And, yes, I do. Candy shared something. Did she share something via email? I printed that. Yeah, Candy couldn't be here with us tonight, but she wanted to mention that she had been out to Lafino Park recently, and while walking around the lake, she saw a couple with a grandchild going from one of the storyboard to the next and reading the different parts of the book. The little girl was super excited about the story and ran to each one to have it read to her. That was the first chance she had seen the edition of the book walk, and it was truly a great addition to the park. While she was there, she looked at the tennis courts. Oh, there was a large crack. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, right. I should have stopped one sentence earlier, right? No, but yeah, again, we all thought it was a great idea when that collaboration came up, and excuse me, I appreciate Candy sharing a firsthand experience of watching community members enjoy that piece of Lufino Park. What else?
Well, I wanted to share, I know we have lots of Eagle Scouts and Silver Stars who have projects, or even our honor students who need service hours by the end of the year. You need to get a hold of the Parks and Recs Department. They have projects you can do for your Eagle Scouts or Golden Stars, and plus you can get in some hours of volunteering, and the city can't do it without our volunteers. So get a hold of the Parks and Recs Department, and as you can see on the screen or on the TV, that is the email and phone number where you can get information about volunteering as well as doing projects.
Thanks, Sharon. Christina, do you have anything?
Yeah, actually, we recently, as a family, rented the CI Beaver Hall for the wedding shower for my son, and I was just completely impressed with the whole process, from dealing with Jackie, and getting the key, picking up the keys and returning the keys, and the facility was beautiful and it was perfect. So it's such a great asset to have here in Beavercreek. So thank you for that. And just if you need to rent a place, look right here in Beavercreek.
Thanks, Christina. Cecilia?
I'd like to thank the vendors who donated gift certificates and other things for the Thursday volunteer ice cream social. So for those who are wavering if they should go or not, there are lots of door prizes that we will be distributing. And I'd also like to mention my favorite event, which is the Perennial Exchange, which is on April 30th and at 10 o'clock at Rotary Park at the shelter. And everybody who would like to attend can contact the Beavercreek Parks, Recreation and Culture for more information. Thank you. I'm not really sure who runs that.
She just likes me.
All right. Thank you, Cecilia. Yeah, it's an exciting time to talk about those things, since the flowers are just starting to pop up everywhere. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add, other than I'm disappointed I'll miss the ice cream social tomorrow night. So if ice cream's not enough to get you out, come, I don't know what else we can do.
We also have candy bars on the table and cookies.
So please join us on Thursday night if you are on that list of volunteers. So I have nothing else, so at this time I'll accept a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.